in this entire tournament by winning by 7 seconds against Glaucio Souza. His race PB is 40.41, which he just got, and his real PB is 40.30. And it looks like both of our runners are off here. The race has begun. And yeah, Kev should be joining me any minute now.
I am
Once
right here.
There he is. Here we go.
I was doing my very best to not interrupt your wonderful introduction.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, welcome, Kev. I hope you're doing well this evening. Definitely looking forward to this race tonight.
Yes, this will be a great way to cap off the night. I was able to get off of work a couple minutes early so I could hop out here and help out, and excited to see how Sforzand0 can get another 35. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Although I would imagine that 35 was probably without saves, but I didn't get a chance to catch that run. And I've been paying attention to LomionJones too, and he's been improving times all over the place. So this should be a really exciting race to, and hopefully both runners will have little to no trouble tonight.
Excellent. Yeah, let's see. No resets, no deaths, and excellent steam RNG.
That would be great. Now, the last couple races we had are certainly going to be tough acts to follow. But GT Classic, you never know with GT Classic. So I think just knowing how volatile the category is, you're just right from the start, it's going to be exciting no matter what.
Absolutely. And it looks like Lomion here, a little bit of trouble with the steams in the elevator room. And I believe Sforzand0 got a 44 there. Yeah, 44.13 for Sforzand0.
Yeah, sometimes.
All right, and now we begin. Seriously. Early game begins.
What's your favorite part of the early game?
I really enjoy the segment after early supers, heading across like the Decora room and then Green Hills over up to Red Tower. I really enjoy that stretch, like trying to get those mock balls in there. It feels very smooth. And there's the crucial missile drops along the way that bless the rest of the run. What about yourself?
You're appealing directly toward my heart as far as this early game is concerned. I particularly love Green Hill Zone. Is my absolute favorite. I just kind of love the way how the movement and the music, if you could just nail that room, the big mock ball down the hill and then the D-boost over that little pedestal there right before you get to that blue gate is just, to me, it's just, I call that section the dance. I love it.
Excellent. I like that. The dance.
So you mentioned the Decora, and we already have shouts in the chat. Like, where's Prof? I think anytime anybody mentions the Decora, it's going to be synonymous with Professor School.
As it should be. That is one of the coolest promos I've ever seen for a speedrunning extension category. So, yeah, hats off to the professor because that was very, very well done. After watching that, I was like, yes, I thirst for gate glitches.
So there's actually been a whole bunch of runners in this tournament that have kind of gotten into trying out the category, and it was really fun. I can't remember who came up with the meme, but it was that meme where, it was like GT Classic was offended that the runners were looking toward Decora, free the Decora. It's like, come on.
Sometimes you just got to step away for a little bit, cleanse the palate before you come back to the main focus, which is always GT Classic, right?
As much as I love GT Classic is like really, really fighting for a top spot in how I feel about this game. I mean, I'd say 100% without a doubt, this is easily my favorite racing category from a watcher and a playing standpoint. Although it can be one of the most frustrating. Sforzand0 is on his way to a pretty seriously good bomb time here. We're looking at sub 5 easy.
He has had a very smooth start here. Excellent climb. And that looks to be 4:51 Just barely. Box time. LomionJones coming up behind, getting that lock ball there under the screws. Oh no, Lomion! Oh heck! Oh, having to go back and farm for that missile just feels awful.
You hate to see it. I think I am more careful on that door than any other door in the game. Because that's have to run. Look at that, no drops for BT. I mean, obviously he had 99 and 5, but it's really weird to watch no drops coming out of that room.
Yeah, exactly. There's something that's just off-putting about it, even though you're all filled up.
Sometimes you'll see that happen to a GT. If somebody activates a GT code, doesn't take any damage off a GT, and manages to finish the fight clean, it's pretty cool.
If you can line yourself up in that perfect spot so the GT hops back and get that magic frame and don't take any damage. It is very rare, but yeah, it feels awesome when it happens.
Yep, if everybody's wondering, so Sforzand0 here is killing all the pirates there on his way down, so that's to mitigate good health. So he has full health going down to Green Brinstar, so that he can get missiled from bugs there before he enters the early super. Take a look and see what Lomion do, and a lot of that is to save some health so that when they get to Red Tower and Hellway, they do some well-timed deep boost to get across the room much faster, and also to just conserve ammo.
Yeah, farming in Hellway can be a bit treacherous, especially when health can already be very low.
And
so I try to just avoid all costs.
The Vile Plumes have been very hungry in this tournament. So that should be a good thing for chat to bet on how many Vile Plumes are going to get fed today.
Alright, Lomion just missing out on that sub-7 Brinstar elevator. But he's heading down to pick up those early supers.
Oh no, nice golden mock ball.
Oh, how did he not get that missile drop?
Oh, jeez.
Huh.
Sometimes, oh boy. So, trouble with missiles today in 2 places for Lomion.
And it looks like Sforzand0 got a nice missile drop there from the bugs.
Yeah, we got confirmation from chat that the Vile Plumes have had plenty to eat for this tournament, so they can afford to starve for 1 round.
Absolutely. I second that completely.
Oh no! I just know Lomion's having some trouble in the mock ball room.
Yeah, he gets the backup in the room though. That feels awesome. Not having to go through the extra 2 door transitions. So well done for nailing that backup. And I know sometimes making mistakes early on can get in your head, especially in a race.
Well, this category in particular, because like Sforzand0 is having a lot of trouble with Red Tower, right? And it's not just about time. For those that are unfamiliar with this category, if you're having trouble with the early game, this is considered some of the easier stuff in the game. I mean, not as easy as being, as overpowered as you are after you enter the GT code, but really, you're worried the whole time, about lava dive. Am I going to survive lava dive? Am I going to get Green Gate glitch? Am I going to have to reset? And Red Tower is tricky too, but it doesn't carry the same weight as Green Gate. It doesn't carry the same weight as lava. So there's really a lot to get frustrated about if your early game isn't working out and you just got a lot of anxiety, oh boy, am I going to be able to pull this off today?
Yeah, absolutely. Because even though early game's familiar, it doesn't take away from how treacherous it can be sometimes. And then once you get into Lower Norfair, there's so much more optimized, intense strats that you can use to really try to save time. So the run really does get, more intense, the more optimized you get. And yeah, when you start to get rocked early on, then it can be difficult to recover. Lomion also having a little bit of trouble here, heading up Red Tower. But, let's go.
I was going to mention, too, so a lot of runners in this category, several other categories as well. So that early game, especially prior to Red Towers, should be pretty well rehearsed for anybody that's played a lot of this game. So that should be your best, your best section of the game. It's what you've played the most. So yeah, very frustrating if it's not going well. Really good D boost, by the way.
Yeah, I was just about to say that D boost was awesome. I don't think I've seen that before.
I'm gonna have to steal that to tell you the truth.
Yeah, any little place that you can save time.
Okay, go through the pirate. That was pretty neat.
Having to use a power bomb there to knock out those pirates. But easy taking care of it. Nice health there entering Craig's lair.
So if you notice that... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say he's going to do the classic 2 missiles, 3 supers.
I think so. I was going to remark on how Sforzand0 fixed the door before he went into Craig's lair. You'll see a lot of times... Beautiful quick kill. A lot of times these runners will kind of do a little jump turn as they're entering the door and do a little wall jump check. And that is to help them enter the door a little bit faster than a normal door transition would allow. I don't know about you, but I'm getting this wonderful Twitch purple screen. And I have lost Sforzand0's run.
That's all good. It'll be back in a few seconds. But yeah, that happens to me. It goes in and out.
At the very least, I was going to say at the very least, we didn't miss the Craig quick kill, so at least that was good.
Yes. Alright, so Sforzand0's making his way out. He had to use a power bomb on the pirates there. But nailing it. Let's see if he picks up. Nope, he is skipping that E-tank, so it looks like Sforzand0 will be picking up boots. And Lomion makes his way over to Craig.
I got to tell you, if we keep having some GT Classic tournaments and players continue to play with the same kind of fervor that we've been seeing lately, I wouldn't be surprised if the next tournament we hold, there'd be more people seriously attempting bootless. And the next year,
really neat to see, some more bootless dives, which I believe we'll be seeing tomorrow night with Ruyarn against Firebat.
I think
really awesome race.
I was going to say, I think everybody in the community is super hyped for the Firebat Ruyarn race. That one is going to be super.
Absolutely.
So a really good quick kill by LomionJones.
Nailing it. And that was a gold segment there for Lomion in between power bombs and Varia. So really nicely done there. Not having to use a power bomb on pirates. Alright, we're at the 13-minute mark, which is the command IFB signal. Will we get some saves?
If I was Sforzand0, I would definitely save to kind of ensure victory. Nothing against LomionJones, but their PBs are so that there's no reason for Sforzand0 to not save. Anything can go wrong. We've seen even the best dive here, so we do have a save from Sforzand0. I approve that save.
Yes, absolutely. And especially, if you're watching the restream and you're ahead, then taking those safeties, it just takes a little bit of the pressure off, helps you relax, and sometimes you can just play at your best when you're nice and relaxed and having a good time.
So you race a lot, C7, like I do. We do GT Classic races. Does it ever kind of tempt you or maybe even bother you when you're on just like a killer pace and you're getting close to, where the wave comes and bubble? You ever think to yourself for a minute, I kind of want to just go?
Absolutely. And there's been times where I have skipped the save, and it's just sometimes when you're on a good pace, you just feel very confident and you just know you're not going to mess up. And so that it's very rare that I get there, but I have been there once or twice and I have definitely skipped saves.
Wow, that's pretty bold. I still haven't skipped saves in a race, but I'm getting pretty confident at Lava Dive. But again, I don't want Firebat to be disappointed in me.
Yeah, absolutely. You always have that in the back of your head. Like, no, hey, finishing is more important than the best time. Alright, that is a successful lava dive there for Sforzand0, followed by a save. So let's get those blessed GGGs.
Yeah, Sforzand0's just kind
chat.
of ripping through. Definitely not on 35 pace, but still, this is going to be this. Assuming he gets the gate here, this will be one of the stronger races we've seen or runs we've seen lately.
Yeah, this is a very strong run so far. All right, here we go. Bless that gate.
No pause, no hesitation.
All right, let's go. Nailing that D-boost off the ripper afterwards.
How much like a boss do you feel when you hit that gate first time?
Oh, it's just like the biggest exhale ever when that gate goes up, especially on the first try. You're just like, why did I waste all that time farming those supers?
Code is successfully inputted, so I will remain the only runner so far that has botched the GT code. And I hope that nobody else does that either. I hope to remain the only person, because I don't wish that on anybody.
Oh, absolutely. Don't worry, Kev. I'm sure you will never make that mistake again.
I don't even know how I made it the first time. It didn't happen.
Hey, in a race, like, your mind can be anywhere, especially a tournament race. Let's bless Lava Dive for Lomion. Let's get it, Lomion. Sforzand0 is just in go mode, so he's gonna power on through to Ridley.
Ooh. LomionJones so successful on that Lava Dive, didn't even need the last little jump off the wall.
Yeah, that always surprises me when that happens. I'm like, wait, is that, did that, it's okay, everything's fine, right? We're good, we're going? Right. Alright, bless GGG for Lomion. Please gate. Please behave.
I gotta be honest, in all the races we've seen so far, the green gate has not been as much of a problem as the Lava Dive has. It's not been as much of a problem as Kraid has. There's been a lot of really good gates.
Oh no! Oh, Kev, right as you say that. Oh no!
Well, I'll tell you.
No, it's...
I'm going to fall back on what Kip had said about the commentator's curse, is that the action has already happened by the time I've said something.
Absolutely. Oh, and I believe that there was a tournament race in the multi-category tournament where I think Kip forgot the code. So, I mean, it can happen to the best of us, so that's like a no-sweat kind of thing.
Chat's making me feel bad.
Oh no. Ooh, and Sforzand0 is getting that powerhouse. On over to the Ghidorah. Just looks so smooth and so fast. So tight getting that shot off to open the door. Well, we got 20 shots for Ridley. Lomion, take 2 on the gate. Oh, Lomion, I'm so sorry. I know exactly what this feels like. You can just feel your soul leaving your body, and it's just awful. Oh. All you can do is just keep trying. Yeah.
That's what happened to me on Tuesday night. I had so many resets, and then I ended up actually exiting the game. I didn't even get a chance to. I gave up by proxy.
Oh no. Oh yeah, I think I saw that in race chat. That's such a shame.
Poor Lomion. But again, we've all been there, dude. I hope you get it. I hope you continue. Because we'd like to see it. Unfortunately, Lomion had similar trouble, I believe, in their first race that they had.
Yeah, that's right.
But I mean, we know Lomion's a good player. He had a really, really solid, seriously great race against Glausio Souza. If you haven't seen that race, you owe it to yourself to go watch that race.
That's the closest race of the tournament so far.
Yep. So unfortunate what's happening to Lomion right now, but definitely put up a really good showing for this tournament. So, GG,
absolutely.
Keep going. Meanwhile, Sforzand0 showing some pretty sick strats.
And lots of high-level fun stuff. Lomion's just opting to try to go for the running GGG through the door each time, which I don't blame him. Oh, yes. Is it? 5th try.
Killer.
Right, and that's smart. Just kill the rippers. Let's not even mess around with health. Even a little dip in the acid. Not going to signal any alarms. Alright, Lomion, let's get the code and let's be through.
I admire that kind of perseverance. I really appreciate that, because it would have been very easy for Lomion to just give up and stop right there, especially knowing what a powerful runner Sforzand0 is. But knowing it's his last tournament race, really, really proud to see him stick through it. And good job persevering.
Absolutely. GG's, Lomion.
Yeah, and back to Sforzand0, just ripping through the tail end of Lower Norfair, showing just really quality, crisp movement, really good strats. I'm really curious to see, how much time they can make up over the next, roughly 15 minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah, nice missile shots there on the waivers, Bubble Mountain, nice lag reduction strats, and lots of upward movement in the Lower Norfair escape, so it's all about those clean ledge grabs, and he was just nailing them all the way up. So really solid race so far for Sforzand0. LomionJones nailing those fast pillars, heading up worst room in the game. Over Ridley himself. Meridia, one of my favorite parts of the run.
I would second that. I look forward to Meridia. It's just kind of the calm before the storm, and even in this category, strangely enough, Wreck Ship feels kind of like that too. You got all this aggressive action in the first half of the race, and then there's a little bit of a cool down, when you go through Meridia and you go through Wreck Ship. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see that beautiful Everest strat from Sforzand0 there because Twitch was being Twitch and doing their thing, but that's a really cool strat. Hope the restream will see it.
And Meridia, it's very fast. The movement, it's very clean, very slick. And it just feels like you're in and out, and there's not too much to worry about with the bosses. Like, even though, Fantoon's also one round, there's so much RNG with Fantoon that it's not given, but Botchwoon and Dragon, fairly reliable one-round bosses every time.
That's the other thing I like about this category is just how movement-based it is once you get through those major impediments. And like Lower Norfair and Meridia, especially for the top runners, it's more about how well you can put 2 rooms together or 3 rooms together, how you can connect one room to the next for time saving. And Goop Spark there from Sforzand0 did not make me happy or the full happy, just space jumping through.
Yeah, I believe optimal space jumps are faster than doing the halfie in this category.
Yes. So normally, for anybody that might not know, and I think most of the people here kind of know a lot about GT Classic, in a normal category, you don't get space jump until after you face Dragon. So a halfie would save time based on just kind of jumping through the room. Whereas in this category, you already have space jumps, so you don't need to deal with falling down to the sand. We got Sforzand0 here going for the Ruya straight up shot Dragon. I'm going to name that strat after Ruya just because he's the first person I saw ever do that.
Nice.
And Sforzand0 mentioning that he's getting nickeled and dimed to death. But I would take that change in my run if I could get this time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll take, little smaller time losses against resets or deaths.
But it's to see runners like Sforzand in this race. It's really inspiring. Yeah, gives me something to kind of look forward to in the future. It's been great to just be in the tournament with so many qualified and just top tier runners. Just nothing but fun.
Yeah, and it's really fantastic seeing everyone improve, like seeing how many people have gotten race PBs, real PBs during, prep and practice for their races. That's what's really fun about these tournaments, is like seeing everyone go all in and try to put on their best, and, proof is in the pudding, it shows in the times, and yeah, everyone's on an upward trajectory. Really neat to see. It looks like Lomion's just having a little bit of trouble with some Ridley pogo manipulation there, but he was able to get through Ridley, no problem. He's on his way out of Little Warfare.
Sometimes I find it liberating. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, we'll watch this foosball attempt.
Dang, not quite.
I find it pretty, it can be pretty liberating actually if, it sucks to do poorly in a race and it sucks to miss the green gate and have to do resets, but a lot of times it takes the pressure off and you can usually just, all right, this is what I got going. You kind of turn your brain off a little bit, you run on autopilot. Some of my best splits, a lot of my gold splits have come from like failed runs.
Oh, and that's great, and that shows that you're, maintaining the right attitude, still trying to, do your best despite however frustrated you may feel, in the moment when things are going wrong.
I love that entry from Sforzand.
Yeah, the mock ball. It just like it looks so fast.
Why is the movement so beautiful in this game?
It looks good, feels good when you're doing it. Nice. And that speed ball there. Entering Fantune. Alright, Fantune, be kind. Nice long eye open.
I'm going to say Fantune is being slow because Sforzand0 said he was getting nickeled and dimed to death, so Fantune just wanted to, quarter him to death. Or dollar him to death.
Alright, we have to reappear here, but no problem. Getting on-screen kill.
I don't care what kind of pace you're on. When Fantune does that, you just want to smack him.
Yeah. No, seriously, when that eye blinks like that, it's like, how do you expect me to get this super in, buddy? Alright, Sforzand0 has taken care of the 4 statue bosses, so he's gonna make his way over to G4.
I'm really hoping that Sforzand0 can pull off one of my favorite strats in this category, and that is the, and I don't know if he goes for it or not, but when you shoot the door right where he's going right now, right down this long hallway, and you do that space jump, oh, man.
Oh, no.
Commentators being commentators.
Alright, getting that sweet. Yeah, that's a really interesting backup, though, like having to go all the way to the ocean floor to build up the momentum to try to get through.
But had it worked, how gorgeous would it have been?
Oh, that would have been great. I mean, he got out of the water cleanly, which to me looks like one of the harder parts. It's really fun to see the way that all these runners have their runs personalized.
Absolutely.
Even just in Dragon's room, I mean, where people pick to stand to do the microwaving, there's so many ways you can customize it.
Well, I know Sforzand0's probably going to be a little frustrated by how that wreck ship went, especially leaving wreck ship in the Fantoon. So I'm kind of curious to see what kind of frustration dance Samus is going to do in the G4 area. I'd be waggling the arm cannon. Samus is just going to be stoic.
Yeah, at this point, I'm usually like furiously typing in race chat because people are about to finish. So I'm always like, GG's, everyone in advance.
It can't be a little disheartening getting into G4 and you start seeing all the dot-downs coming in,
Yeah, I'm always like, all right, I want to get into Torian before people start to finish. That's always the goal.
Nice.
Especially when I'm racing against Ruya. Alright, so we have Kev's favorite part beginning here for Sforzand0, Torian.
Oh yeah, Torian is just so exciting, and I always love it when I get a chance to see somebody like Sforzand0 run Torian, because the way they menu to kill the Metroids and continue to move and change from ice to super is just incredible. Oh, he's just going to opt for grouping, which I think is fun too.
Oh, absolutely.
It's really
Sometimes
difficult to group with screw attack. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. No, please keep going. I was just going to say, sometimes, just having those, like, cozier, safer strats can just be, more reliable than going for the insane individual shots, but...
Yeah, I definitely approach Torian based on what my loadout is. So I definitely do Torian. Oh, no pauses. I definitely do Torian a little bit different, depending on which category I'm doing. But Sforzand0 got hit by that very aggressive side hopper. Those guys, I feel like they run on RNG too. Sometimes you get through that story without getting hit, and other times they just get vicious. They come right after you.
Yeah, sometimes it can depend on where you're positioned as you're falling into the room. Screw attack can be a huge help in there, but sometimes they just get you. And unfortunately, Metroid just got Sforzand0.
Sforzand0 doing the right thing by facing right.
We'll see if we get a Crystal Flash attempt. He has the ammo for it.
I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't seen it, but we did see a pretty sweet, successful Crystal Flash last night. I believe it was
that's
last
right.
night. That was pretty sweet. I wouldn't go for that. That takes some gall.
Yeah, I would not either.
So also, if you Crystal Flash, that also makes the Mother Brain fight a little bit more intense because you don't have any reserves to fill up and go for stand-up. So if you are not good at Mother Brain and you try to do Crystal Flash, you run into trouble that you might not be able to do stand-up.
That's a very good point.
I just thought of it now. I did not think of it last night.
Yeah, it looks like Sforzand0, went for the classic refill, and again took a bit of damage, so no pauseless.
Fire back correct, and the Crystal Flash does fill reserve, so I thought wrong, but that's okay. I'm new here. Besides, that's one thing I really love about this kind of interactive experience where you're able to watch the race, you're able to interact with the viewers, which I think is a really neat feature of Twitch, something that I was kind of unaware of until pretty recently. And I kind of like that because, you can learn a lot of new things. It's I think it helps drive the game. It's really fun. Thank you. Thanks, Chad.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, a very solitary hobby, so it's really neat to be able to hang out with people as you're doing it and learning more and improving, all along the way. So yeah, I call Twitch chat the Sacred Scrolls because of how much I learn and how invaluable it is.
That's awesome. I mean, 12-year-old me is in heaven right now. It's just like,
yeah, right.
Make my brother and sister watch me play video games, and now here I am am an adult and like people do it voluntarily. It's so cool.
Wait, you're watching because you want to? What?
All right. All right, so we got Sforzand0 is getting ready for stand-up right now. I always like to see how everybody does stand up. Tend to huddle, a space jump. You saw Sforzand0 did a little dance there, and now he's just in a ball. Sometimes you'll see people in a ball like Sforzand0, and then Metroid will come on screen. They'll be in the floor. They'll have to bomb themselves out of the floor. It's like a constant battle to try not to be in a fixed position when the baby is coming on the screen and then detaching from other brains so that you don't get soft locked.
Okay, don't want to save the baby at all costs.
No, it's a good sentiment, but it's not good for your time.
Exactly. For completion purposes, no.
Do we know who, assuming Sforzand0 wins, do we know who they fight next?
Let me pull up the bracket here. I believe it's Command has all of the spreadsheet and bracket links. So yeah, let's see.
So this run for Sforzand0 is definitely, it's one that I would be proud of, but knowing, just how good Sforzand0 is, depending on who their opponent is next, runs like this will send a top runner back to the practice room and say, how on earth did I miss all that stuff? I know I'm better than this, and depending on who their opponent is. Yeah,
Nevdi. So when you're playing someone like Nevdi, then that'll be a really great matchup.
And that's going to be how it is, I think, for the rest of the tournament. We're going to see nothing but just serious runners, serious racers, really trying to cut their times, and the matches are only going to get closer.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think Sforzand0 is quite on race PB pace here, but they should. It's definitely looking like a 37 finish. Very, very strong race time. Excellent run for Sforzand0.
Oh yeah, I would be elated to have.
Oh, I'd be over the hood.
Right.
With 37 in a race, man, I'd have a full-blown party afterwards.
That's good. We'll make sure when you get your first 37, we'll have to celebrate. We'll have a party.
Listen, if I can just crack the sub 40, I will be well over the moon. That'll be just fine.
I believe in you.
All right, here we go. Home stretch over to the ship, and GG's Sforzand0 coming in first place. SRL official time 37:49.
Absolutely, GG's Sforzand0, and you got your work cut out for you facing Nevdi next. So get at it.
That is plus 14 seconds from his race PB. So that is very, very strong run there. Yeah, that'll be a great matchup. Looking forward to that one.
Absolutely. This is also a good time here while we have LomionJones working their way down to baby skip here. We also have a run later tonight. Run is, I believe, at midnight is Nin Toaster and P-Toil, and I'm really sad that I can't stay up for that race because my kids have school in the morning, and it's just one of those things. But holy cow, is that going to be a super race to watch. So please, if you are able to, please tune in. And I just want to remark, Sforzand0 in his own chat says, I won't get past Nevdi with that run. And like I said, I have a feeling, and I think I'm right, that Sforzand0 is going to be grinding over the next week to make sure that he puts up a good fight against Nevdi. And if I was Nevdi, I would be grinding too, because Sforzand0 is no slouch. Super job, super runner.
Absolutely, especially when you see somebody on such an upward trajectory. I mean, it's just a matter of time before they outdo their, the best that they formerly posted. So, anything's possible, especially in this category. And Yeah, it's all about, confidence, momentum, and, just maintaining your nerve in these things.
Yep, I'm
Really
taking a
looking
look here
forward to
at Lomion, and I hope Lomion gets through Mother Brain with no problem and has a nice clean finish. So it's always a relief to get finished through a run that is fraught with turmoil. All right, looks like we're going for spring ball skip.
Nails it. Almost there.
Like this always feel much worse when you're playing versus when you're watching, because Lomion did have 2 resets, but otherwise had a pretty solid early game and showed pretty decent movement, a couple snag points here and there, but take a look at the time and subtract about 2.5 minutes. You get a realistic idea of where, what time the racer would have finished had there been no resets.
Absolutely.
Because I'd say Green Gate glitch is at least about a minute, I think, right? Roughly a minute if you have to reset.
That sounds about right. I think the lava dive reset's a bit longer.
Yeah, because you also have to deal with the RNG, because, if you're resetting, you're also likely to farm again. That farm room can take an indeterminate amount of time, especially when those bugs decide they want to be stingy.
Absolutely. Just give me those supers, please.
Deer Forest for everybody. We see some Deer Forest in the chat. Don't forget to type it out and support the game's makers that gifted us this beautiful, wonderful game. I love this game so much that even when
it's like you never really go to bed angry. I was going to say, you never really go to bed angry with this game. You get a little bit frustrated, but after some time away, clean slate, you come back refreshed, and you just want to get vengeance from the last time.
I like that little dance Lomion's doing. Yeah, I get a little, if I have a bad race or a bad run, I go to bed a little resigned, but no, not upset. I generally leave my upset for the run, or I'm like, all right, I'm going to save this and take it out on the next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it funny? You can tell when a player is playing really aggressively when it's just a video game. It's amazing how you can emote and kind of get a feeling across just with a 2D character. It's so cool. Like you said before, every runner has their own kind of little personality.
Absolutely. Every runner has their strats that they use. So sometimes just watching, a run devoid of a screen that would indicate who's running. You can tell who it is just by the strats, the style, the little tricks that they do during downtime moments. So much personalization. Character. Yeah, like you said, so much you can emote through a 2D character. It's pretty astounding.
I like it.
More art to video games than people give credit for.
Oh yeah. I was just going to say, I'm going to see if while LomionJones is finishing up, maybe we can get either of these guys for an interview afterwards. Would be kind of nice. Yeah. So we'll see while Lomion finishes up. So it looks like Lomion's going to be somewhere around a mid or high 44. I never have screw attack in this room. I always get so weirded out when I see people using screw attack, because I guess I could always throw it on really quickly while I'm menuing Varia off, or while I'm refilling my reserves for stand-up, but I still haven't figured out how to do the spring ball zeb skip. I still do the traditional style, so I never have screw attack on an escape. Looks helpful.
Oh, it's very helpful, because you don't have to really worry about any of the projectiles from the pirates. You can just blaze right on through them. It's incredibly helpful.
So
Yeah, I
as
always have
Lumia,
screw
oh,
tech
go ahead.
on. Just to say, I always use sprinkles lipstick.
Nice. As Lomion
All
Jones
right.
is finishing up, everybody send them your love in chat. GG Lomion Jones, and thank you for finishing the run. Thank you for sticking through it. We appreciate it. And on that note, we have Sforzand0 in the chat. GG, dude, and thanks for dropping by in the interview. Tell us about your run.
Do I have to?
Well, at least the good parts. I mean, you know, we had mentioned that you probably were going to be frustrated, especially knowing that you have to, you know, face Nevdi next. But really, all the way up until Meridia, it was a pretty solid race.
I thought the Ridley was okay. I think we're our own worst critics in everything. So, you know, when you guys see, you know, whatever it is I just gave you, you guys can see it for what you take of it as. But for those of us who are trying to grind some consistency and try to get some of those race PBs and really try to lock in for these runs, sometimes you could just have a really frustrating run even if it's a 37-47. I mean, you know, you've ever watched, you know, Ruya or one of those guys play, you know, they'll get a 34 and be upset by it. And it's just tough.
I mean, I think that's part of what makes you as good as you are. I mean, that's where that 35 came from, that personal, you know, that personal critique of yourself saying, all right, I know this is a good time, but I'm so much better than this. And why can't I do this all the time?
And even the top runners, I mean, I remember, you know, watching Behemoth get, you know, like a 41 something any percent PB, and the first thing he said when the credits started rolling was like, all right, what went wrong? That's always the first thing that we tend to, you know, focus on afterwards is what went wrong as opposed to all the things that went right. But, you know, I would, you know, be very proud of the fact that, you know, you're just 14 seconds off of a race PB. You know, you're in a tournament setting, and, you know, that was just like a very solid, there was no like, you know, major mistakes, just like you said, like the nickel and dime, just little, you know, little knife cuts here and there. But, you know, all in all, that, you know, it's very strong race.
Everyone, I do appreciate that.
Well, what is
So how do you,
oh, go ahead, you finish up.
I was going to say, how do you feel with Nevdi as your next opponent?
Well, I'm not going to get any farther than that if I do what I just did tonight. I can tell you that. Nevdi's a very solid runner, top and down. You know, he's got a 45 any percent, so you know, he's put in the time. He's been a solid GT Classic runner. You know, I think that it's going to come down to who makes more mistakes, and you know that's why I'm a little frustrated with this run because I think I'd be licking my chops if I was him.
Oh, but isn't this what you run for? You know, it's going to be a real serious challenge. I mean, I know when I'm racing against somebody that's pretty close with me, my heart beats a little bit faster. You know, my hands sweat a little bit more, but the adrenaline seems to be a little bit more helpful.
There's a tendency to choke up maybe a little bit on the controller too. Like if you're too have too much of that anxiety or too much of that nervousness, or there's a tendency to just grip your controller a little tighter, press some, you know, light jump. Maybe you didn't mean to do a little hop there or this, that, or the other. And yeah, it's one of those things where you got to temper that a little bit.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm really looking forward to the match between you and Nevdi. I've been watching a lot of your channel, a lot of your runs lately, and it's just been very inspiring to see your improvements throughout the course of the tournament. You won me over, dude. I'm a fan for sure. So thank you so much for racing. Thank you for being a part of the tournament, and I wish you the best of luck preparing for your race with Nevdi because I think it's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, and GG's to Lomion. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah.
Unfortunately, Lomion had some trouble with Green Gate glitch, had 2 resets there. Was actually on a pretty decent pace, had a pretty strong early game. But, you know, the gate did what the gate does, and unfortunately, that kind of put a damper on his run.
I'm sorry if I make that look easy. I promise you it's not.
But we've all been there. It's like when it's first try, it feels so good. And like we were saying, you feel like your soul's leaving your body every time you reset subsequently. But also, congrats on your 35 today. That's, huge, huge PB, like major milestone, crossing over into the 35 threshold. So, GG's, it's really cool.
Thank you so much. If those of y'all who don't know, that PB was a 35:59.93. So
wow.
I'll take 5 of those, please.
That is still a 35.
That's so good. Well, hey, thanks so much, everybody. Thanks, chat. Thanks, Sforzand0. C7, I'll let you take it off. I have to get running, but I'm so glad I got a chance to do comms for tonight. Thank you all for having me. And Sforzand0, best of luck with your practice. Thank you, Firebat, for restreaming. And thanks, everybody. Take care.
Yeah, thanks, Kev. Thank you so much for joining. It's always a pleasure to do comms with you. And yeah, everyone, tonight, the next match coming up, 11:59 p.m. in Toaster against P-Toil. I believe it'll probably be right here on this channel. If anyone wants to commentate for it, I don't believe we have comms yet. I'm just going to do my damnedest to stay awake for it. GG's to Lomion. He, in that race against Glacio, that was 7-second differential. That's the closest race of the tournament. So cool. Really awesome to have you participate. And yes, Sforzand0, it's going to be really neat to see you up against Nevdi. And it looks like Nintoaster is going to do comms on the race that he's going to be racing in.
Yeah, you can see that it's sort of live in the pit kind of commentary. So you can get a real sense of what's on the runner's mind as they're playing it live.
It's like the football players who are mic'd on the field. Like it's going to be no holds barred, nothing censored, just real live in the moment. So that's going to be a lot
I think this is a family station, so it's going to be censored a little bit.
All right, you hear that, Nintoaster? It is going to be censored a little bit. All right, yeah, I think that's going to do it for me. Unless, Sforzand0, do you have any final thoughts?
No. Good luck to Nevdi. I'm going to need it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. Yeah, looking forward to your next match. And yeah, again, thank you, Firebat, for restreaming. Thanks for Kev joining me on comms. Everyone follow both the runners, Sforzand0, LomionJones. In about 2 hours, we have Nintoaster, P-Toil. Everyone stick around. We're going to go raid Emmett. Emmett is doing Super Metroid stuff. He's doing any percent, trying to get that 42. So let's go wish him luck. Everyone, thank you for watching. Yeah, see you in 2 hours. Take care, everyone. Good night.